Today I will discuss about this pointer. So, what is the utility of this pointer in C++? That is very important. Now, uh, let's start from a program. Actually, in every C++ program, whenever we are calling a member function or a member variable, data member, everything of that class is accessed through that pointer, this pointer. Now, how it is realized in practice, that I have to show. So first of all, we can consider a class. Suppose this is a class, let item is the class name, and within that I have got data members A and B. Now in public section I am writing a simple what is a okay. So in this section I am writing a function getAB. So it will accept two integer variable and it is returning nothing, so void, and the values received at a and x and y is transferred to b and a. So this is the getAB function. Now I am doing some work. For example, if I want to multiply a and b several times, so it may be a to the power b. Now I can take, suppose for integer I equals to 0, I less than b, I plus plus, let the thing is like that, a to the power b. So I am writing c equals to a into a like this. So this is my function. Now this is the function. So I am the name of the function I can give it is void raise. Okay. So within this such things occurs. What is the result? I am not interested. It may be 0 to b times. It will 0 to b minus 1 times. The this loop will execute, and a is multiplied with a, so it will be stored at a square. Then okay, it's better to write c into a. So I am writing here c into a, and c equals to suppose 1 in this function. So I am taking let c equals to 1. So I am writing here integer c equals to 1. So everything is within that raise function. So whatever may be the output, I am not interested at all. It may be any function. So it just I want to show you that raise is the member function of item class. Now I can write another function also. Okay, so display is another function. Now it will display the value of a and b and nothing else. So this is the end of class item. Now after that I am going to the main function. Now here the item class has got two objects A and B. Now using A dot get data or get AB, values are given. So when I am putting 5 and 3, 5 is going to x, 5 is received by x, and y will receive the value 3. And after that, A will take 5 and B will take 3 through this assignment. So in this class, A and B will get the values as 5 and 3, and I am using the member function getAB here. Again I am writing here A dot display, and it will display the values of A and B, and then I am writing A dot raise, and it will raise the power of something A to the power B. It will do something. Okay, it may be not exact, but whatever, it will represent something. So I'm writing C out the value of C here. Now this is the normal. Every function has got the return type void. Okay, here this is the normal function call getAB display raise. Okay, now if I expand these function calls, what is actually happening? Whenever I am calling A dot get AB 5 3, this function getAB is called by the object A. A is the object which is responsible for calling this function. Now here this A is passed as a hidden argument when we are calling the function getAB. So the address of A is passed as an argument which we cannot see. This is invisible, and 5 and 3 are normally passed through that function parameter. Now I can see that the address of the object is passed. So object address can only be received by some pointer. We know that any address can be received by something which has that power. So what is that power? Now it must be a pointer variable. So it must be a pointer variable of which type? What is the data type? That should be a class type of the same class. So item is the class name and star is the pointer, and this item star, suppose I can call it P, this pointer can receive the address of A. Now since the entire thing, this is invisible, so it means that we do not need to explicitly mention that pointer in the definition of the function AB, getAB or raise. Every member function has got that pointer which receives the calling object, hidden variable, which is sent through the main function when we call the function getAB. So here we do not need to mention item star p. It is already provided by the compiler or the architecture of the C++ language, you can call it. So this is denoted by this pointer. So we can call it item star this. Item star this. This is the pointer which receives the address of the calling object. Here it is A. So calling object is received by this pointer. So this is also a hidden parameter. Now what is happening here? Now when I am calling A, when I am explicitly mentioning here this line, in this line, that A equals to X, B equals to Y, it is expanded, it signifies that which A, it is mentioned in the class, but when an object is created, the object name is A, and this small a should be the part of the object capital A. If I create another object B and I call B dot getAB, then with some values, then this getAB is the function of the object B. Okay, so when there in this class, in this object B, there are two data members A and B also. So what is the meaning of A and B? This is not the part of the item class. This is the part of the object of item class, and B and small a and small b are the part of this object. So this object A and this small a is the data member of that object. So this is very important to mention that this A is the part of, small a is the part of the object A. So I can write it like that. This A, and so this arrow A, and this is also this arrow B. That means that the calling object is capital A, and which is received by this pointer, and this pointer arrow A means I am just referring just like that, A dot B. If it is not a pointer variable, I can directly call using dot operator, A dot B. So the data member of the object A, that is represented like that, this arrow A. Since this is a pointer, so we have to use arrow, and everything written in red color means that this is invisible. So explicitly we can mention this arrow A, this arrow B, or we can ignore it. So this is the importance of this pointer, where we can use it in future. Okay, so first of all, the object's address is passed as a hidden argument which is received by this pointer. So every member function has got this pointer. So when I am writing a dot display, this function has also a hidden argument which is passed during the function call, and that is address of A, and this is blank. So which is again received by the display function here, item star this. So this is invisible, we do not need to mention it here. And this A and this B can be written as this arrow A, and this is this arrow B. So this is all about this pointer. Now it may happen in some cases that I am modifying the object, calling object, and returning the same using this pointer. So in this case, if I want to write a function like that, where the variables A and B are incremented by just A plus 5 and B equals to B plus 5. That is the purpose of my function. So the name of the function, let fun is the function. So in that case, we'll return like that. So just I am implementing the function. So this is the class item as it was previously. So everything is there. There's integer A and B, and there is a getAB function under public. So I am not writing it here. Display is also there, and then I am writing the function name fun, which will return this pointer. So return type of this function should be class type. Okay. Now this function will not receive anything, and just this function will be written like that: A equals to A plus 5 and B equals to B plus 5, and the values are incremented, the values of A and B are incremented, and I'm just writing return star this. The meaning of that is the object which is calling the function will be incremented by itself automatically, and that incremented object is returned. Okay. So here it is getAB is also present and display is also present. Okay. So this is the end of the class. Now inside main, I am creating an object item C. So C is created with the values A equals to okay. So I am giving C dot getAB and calling the function getAB, and the values are 1 and 2. A equals to 1, B equals to 2 is set. Then C dot fun is called, and when it is called, so it will call this function, and what will happen now, it directly increments the value of A, previous value of A, by 5 and B by also 5. Okay, so new value is 6 and 7. Previous value of A is incremented by 5 and previous value of B is also incremented by 5, and I am returning the same object. So which one is that? This is the calling object. Okay. Now I have to write another object here, item D, that should receive c dot fun. Otherwise it will not work. And since there is a return type, so I have to mention D. Now what is happening here? If I expand this get AB, c dot get AB, here the address of the calling object is passed along with the normal constants 1 and 2. So this address of C is received here by this pointer. So item star this is receiving C. Now C, now here this A means this arrow A plus 5. Now what is the meaning of this? This is the object which is received by this pointer. So this pointer is receiving the object C, address of object C, that is pointing to the object C. Okay. Now this arrow A is simply written as normal A. Okay. It automatically implies that this arrow is normal A. So whose A is this? The calling object C's A. So this A means the value of this one A, and this was previously 1 and is incremented by 5. So now it is 6, and 6 is stored in A. So this is also this arrow A, we can write it. So this is also this arrow B, similarly this arrow B plus 5. Now this is the object. Which object is received? It is also received C. C is the object. So when I am writing return start this is the value. So it does simply return the value, the object C. It is as simple as that. C is returned. And so I have written here item is the data type. That is the class of the object. C is the object of the class of type item. So C is returned, and I have written the data type as item. And this is received at D. And when I am writing D dot display, it will indicate the incremented value. Okay, everything is fine. So this is all about this pointer, but I don't know why I have written this raise function. What is the utility of that? So whatever, see, I can write it this in this function. A and B are the data members which can be represented as this arrow B and this arrow A, but not C, since C is not the data member. C is a normal variable which is used within the function raise. So data members can only be represented by this arrow B or this arrow A. Okay.